Welcome to the Divine Style Podcast with Gerlinda, Stella, personal stylist and self-love coach, and Alison, Maiden, psychic medium, spiritual healer and metaphysical teacher. Each episode you'll experience spiritual lessons to cultivate self-love and self-expression so you can become the best version of you.
Hello, I'm Gerlinda.
And I'm Alison.
Today we are talking about probably, I would have to say this is my favourite chakra. I know we probably shouldn't have favourites. But if we were going to sum up the heart chakra in one word, it would be all about love.
Yes, and that's you in a nutshell. You're just a little bundle of love. And you often wear green, which I've noticed. It's a good colour. Green. It's a good colour.
I'm wearing green right now.
I know.
Look at that.
Yeah, and with a bit of pink as well, which is like definitely heart chakra. So yeah, it's the centre of your emotional being, and it's how we learn to love ourselves. And I suppose we learn to love ourselves through others when you really think about it, you know, because we are mirroring that effect through other people. So everything that you love about someone else, you actually love about yourself. Everything that you dislike about someone else, you dislike about yourself. So if you're sort of being a bit, grumpy today and you're looking around, you're stomping your feet and carrying on and saying, I just don't like anybody. It's like, because you don't like yourself today. Okay, so the musical note F. I want to talk about musical notes and chakras on this particular one. This is such an interesting thing. Our vibration through our chakras is also activated through sound. Now, you might find that anything that's written in the key of F, if you're a musical person, you know that there's 8 notes in an octave, okay, and that most singers sort of hover around that middle range. And the key of F is very much a beautiful, I suppose, mellow sound. And if a love song is written, and it's written in that key, you could definitely find that you'll be connected to it because it's starting to open up the heart chakra. So it'd be very interesting to do a survey on how many love songs are written in F.
Right, we're going to start a study.
Or the divas that sing in F as well. That would be funny, wouldn't it?
Most songs, when you think about them, are love songs.
Yeah. In one way or another.
Yeah, in one way or another.
Yeah, even the pop songs have got something to do with love. And it's normally the ones that, I think isn't it Taylor Swift that often writes about her
breakups and partnerships.
Well, she's made a great deal of money out of that, hasn't she? So, there's a lot of interesting vibes around this heart chakra that we need to talk about today. I suppose it's positive and negative. Like most chakras, we can have both. But the heart chakra is such an important chakra because it's basically why we're here. We're here to learn about love, unconditional love. And if you can actually achieve that in this lifetime, then you pretty much just ascend, That's what happened to Buddha and a few of the other ascended masters. They're like, oh, yeah, I get this now.
Everything that is uncomfortable or doesn't feel right is just a block to love.
Yeah, that's it. There's only 2 real emotions, and that's love and fear. And so when we look at all the things that layer those 2 emotions, the love aspect is the most common one, I suppose, that we learn through. It's either learning through the hardships of love, like rejection and feeling as though you're not good enough and all of those sorts of negative emotions. And then when you find someone that you really connect with and you all of a sudden feel that all of those things are out the window, I don't feel any of those things at all because I found my connection, I found my like-minded soul, my kindred spirit, if you like. And so, even the people that have some really different ideas about life will have a kindred spirit out there somewhere.
Yeah, we hope.
No, definitely. I believe that.
And the other thing with this heart chakra is it's one that gets frequently blocked due to things like rejection and pain and hurt. And so we tend to build up these layers around our hearts in fear, like we said, love or fear, that we're going to be hurt. I know, I want to say it was probably about 2 years ago, I actually had a physical feeling of my heart chakra opening, and the way I describe it, it felt like a crack in my chest, and it was almost like light was beaming out of me. And I recently had another experience actually at one of our meditation evenings that you host up here in Cairns, and I felt my heart crack open again, and I didn't realize how much we can open and just keep opening up this chakra, so that there is only love, so that we're only surrounded by that, as opposed to it is easy. Someone might say something mean, or even we might say something mean to ourselves and just keep closing that down. But I know now I constantly am saying to myself, open, not to shut myself off from pain.
Yeah, look, I think and that's such a good thing to bring up, actually. Pain is a teacher. It's not something that's been sent to hurt us in a sense of, you have to suffer. You just need to understand why it's there. And then once you understand why you're going through the things you're going through, then you can have that different outlook and go, okay, well, it's my teacher. What am I supposed to be learning here? Now, look, I know a lot of people have been through a great deal of emotional pain, through loss and things that are out of their control, or they seem are out of their control. And of course, we always come back to that lesson of karma, that at some point this has happened in a previous life, and that we need to learn that lesson from the opposite side of it. And we've both been through a lot of pain in our lives. We're not immune to this. Certainly spiritual people are never immune. In fact, we get more pain than most people.
They give us all the lessons so
that we've got to help
show
those
others the way.
Exactly. I mean, how do you know unless you've been through it yourself? And I think that that's a really important thing to take away. If you have had an incredible loss, how do you turn it around so that you can help others? I think one of my dear friends from many years ago, she lost her daughter in a terrible, terrible situation. Her daughter was actually murdered. Her name's Sonia Ryan, and she was Carly Ryan's, of course, her mum. Carly was one of the first children, unfortunately, that was murdered through a stalker on Facebook. And this is going back a lot of years. We're talking probably maybe 15 to 20 years ago. Now, her loss was incredible. You can imagine her 15-year-old daughter, she had no idea what was going on. She didn't know that this man was actually, I think he was 53 years old. He was faking being a 16-year-old boy, had lured her to a beach to meet, and then proceeded to murder her. So this is a terrible story. It's a dreadful story. But what I want to share with this is the incredible way that this wonderful woman, Sonia, has turned this around into something extremely positive. She started the Carly Ryan Foundation, and through that she has been educating children in schools on the dangers of the internet, keeping kids safe. And she's done extensive work for all these years, going around and lecturing, and she's even had the law passed, the Carly Ryan Foundation law, that says it's Carly's law that anyone on the internet that's pretending to be somebody else will be held to justice. I think that was an amazing thing to do with her pain, to turn it into something so very positive to help so many people.
And you do hear of these tragic stories where people do make something good out of something that is so awful and so bad. And that saying, my heart goes out. It really does go out to anybody who's been through something like this and they have managed to turn it around, because that is not an easy path to do, but it is a healing path.
Oh, and I just have got so much respect for her, and anyone that's been through this and has, obviously helped others through their own tragedy. So when we're talking about unconditional love, what this is it's really loving regardless of the situation. It's loving regardless of the person's inability to love back. It's not talking about putting up with abuse or putting up with situations that may harm you. This is understanding so that you're not retaliating, so that you're not adding to the problem, that you can just walk away in peace, and obviously get them the help they need if possible. But it's not about you sacrificing yourself for someone. It's about you loving yourself enough to know that that person needs your understanding and your love too.
I think that is a good point. Like, we're at no time saying that we're condoning poor behavior, but there is something that is very powerful about acceptance, and just accepting what is can then help you move to the next step.
and moving away from that. And we both have been in situations where the partnership has not ended well, and we have had the ability to see, I think through our children, we were discussing this at an earlier time, that my love for my children was and is so great. Like, poor things, they often call me the helicopter parent. But, my love is so great for them that I would never see them hurt in any way. And sometimes when couples are together and they aren't getting along very well, then the children can be, unfortunately, the pawns in that game. So by loving yourself enough to move away from situations which no longer serve you, you're also seeing that in your kids. You're seeing that I love them so much, so I need to move them away from any harm. You must do that for yourself as well, and you must realise that for yourself as well.
Unconditional love is so powerful, and I know that I've only in the past 3 years really understood what that means and how that works in my life, and children are an amazing example of that. I think for people that don't have children, pets can be an extremely
absolutely
wonderful way to experience unconditionally. Like, they love us unconditionally.
They do. And they forgive everything, don't they? It's so wonderful to see, little doggies that come up to the door at night and just like they've been waiting for you the whole day, and it's just like, just please look at me because, and you're so tired and you just want to go and collapse. But they are just wonderful little gifts of love. And I think too, we have to remember that energetically, that anything that we're giving love to becomes an extension of ourselves. So your children are an extension of yourself, your pets are an extension of yourself. They take on your burdens as well as your love. So you just have to remember that unconditionally, if we love ourselves, then they're only going to benefit from that.
Now, speaking of the heart chakra, now it is centered at the heart. What are some physical manifestations when this is blocked? Obviously, anything to do with the heart.
Yeah. Well, the heart chakra is, of course, in the center of your chest, but it does actually take in the lungs as well, so taking in life. And I know when I was very young, I used to have the feeling of not being able to breathe. And even though, it wasn't so much asthma or anything like that, but it was a feeling of I'm overwhelmed with everyone's emotions. I didn't realize at the time, I was quite young, that I had empathic abilities that were quite a bit stronger than most. And so I would have this overwhelming feeling sometimes when I was in a room that I couldn't breathe. And I'd have to get out. And then everyone thought I was having a panic attack. But in actual fact, it was the emotions of everyone in the room that I was feeling. So as soon as I was outside, I was fine and I was away from it. And so, you can have, your breathing can be disturbed by the feelings that you get from others. And that's empathic, as we were speaking about last time with the solar plexus area. But your heart chakra is where you can often feel that initial emotion, and it gets processed through the solar plexus. So it can hit you there first, and then it can go to your solar plexus after that. So breath is one thing. The obvious heart attack, that's the real basis of the blocked heart. When someone's reached that point where their heart just stops.
It's broken heart.
It's broken.
That's when someone says they've got a broken heart. And some people, you hear about people saying they die from a broken heart.
Mm-hmm.
Your heart is definitely another amazing power center in your body and life.
Well, yeah. I mean, without it, you're not well.
Yeah, that's right.
You really need it.
Without your lungs and your heart, you're in a bit of trouble.
You're in trouble. So we also have the thymus in that area as well. Now, gosh, a lot of people are being affected by both thymus and the thyroid, which is a little bit higher than the thymus. But those two glands are very important for health. Thymus is actually the gland that controls your immune system. And interestingly enough, if you do the massage on that, so it's like right in the center, it can hurt.
It can.
It's sort of like right in the middle. If you go sort of a little bit in the breastbone, a little bit above where the boobs are, both male and female, you'll feel this pain in there. So that's your immune center. So you give that a little rub every day, and that'll actually get your immune center moving and hopefully, charging the body with a good immunity.
This might help our allergic reaction to my cat.
Yeah. Dear cat, dear thing, poor thing. She can't help the fact that she makes us sneeze. So the other thing is your skin. Now, a lot of people don't understand that the skin is the greatest organ of your body. It is the most largest organ of the body. And it's the thing that really gets abused the most because we pile chemicals on it. We don't wear shoes. I was horrified when I first came up to Far North Queensland and I saw with people with no shoes on.
It is a look.
It's just a thing they do up here. I suppose it's too hot to wear shoes sometimes. But, your soles of your feet absorb things. And I just want to say this is a really, really good way of understanding how much we can absorb through our feet. I want you guys to do a little exercise. If you've got an onion in the fridge, I want you to go and cut an onion and rub it on the soles of your feet. And within about, usually, unless they're like leather, if you get around without shoes on, you should be able to taste that onion in your mouth.
Oh, this does not sound like a great experiment to try.
Just to show you how important it is to keep those shoes on, especially when you're walking around grass that's been sprayed with pesticides and things like that. You just got to have a little bit of think about that one. So yes, take care of your skin. It's very important. And also, I think that people don't actually recognise the rib cage very much either. The rib cage is the protector of your heart, and it's also the protector of your lungs. So, without your rib cage, you'd be very vulnerable to any kind of blows or anything like that. And that's obviously the reason it's there, help to keep us upright, etc. But if you're having a lot of back pain around the back of the rib cage or in that area at the back of the heart chakra, that is connected to the emotional burdens as well. So you could find that you get like in between the shoulder blades, you might get a bit tight, that sort of thing. So that's definitely an energy blockage there.
And so then in terms of non-physical manifestations, so relationships, this would show up in not feeling connected.
Yep, absolutely. We have, the need to shut down, not see people, depression, wanting to keep ourselves, I suppose, protected from others. I remember doing a healing on a lady a few years ago, and she's a lovely lady. Like, she was always very smiley and nice, but, it was funny. I never felt anything from her. I always looked at her as being really attractive. She was always very, very pretty. She, done up beautifully and immaculately dressed, but there was no feeling coming out of her. And for me, that was weird because I feel everybody more so than I actually look at them. I feel them. And I actually said to her one day, I'm feeling like your heart chakra might be really blocked because I just don't get any feeling from you. And she started to cry and she said, yes, I had a very bad experience when I was young. And I won't say what that was, but it was traumatic for her. And it was somebody close in her family that she trusted dearly. And so ever since then, she's blocked it off. She completely shut it down. And when I actually did the healing on her, I could see this little wall. It was like a little brick wall. And so my third eye, I had this vision of this wall that she had built around her heart so that no one would come in and hurt her again. And we removed that wall. I took it down. I knocked all the bricks over. And after a few healings, energetic healings, she was able then to open up her heart again. And then she actually met someone, and she hadn't had a relationship in her life. And she met someone beautiful, and they ended up getting married. And she was really, really happy. So it is possible to reopen the heart chakra even after bad trauma has happened.
Yes, and it allows that connection in. So if you are looking for love or you're wanting to invoke more love in, opening up this center is incredible.
Yeah, it starts with forgiving yourself and then forgiving the others that have hurt you. And that can sometimes take a while. But working with a good healer and having the understanding of why those lessons have come to you in this lifetime, I think that's the key for release.
One of my favourite practices for forgiveness is known as the O Ho'oponopono. It's a Hawaiian prayer that's 4 simple steps. You say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And it is incredibly healing, whether you're saying it to yourself or to others.
It's really powerful. And they were doing that in prisons, actually. They did an experiment with that in prisons, and they were getting the prisoners to say it every day. And a lot of them were just breaking down into tears and, all of these hardened criminals that were being locked away for different things. Look, life takes people in many different directions, and I believe that underneath the surface there's a good soul in everyone. Everyone deserves redemption and a second chance. And, if we can actually find ways of helping other people without being detrimental to ourselves, as we were talking about before, it's important. That's definitely one tool. We can use Reiki as well, of course, and sending energy to people by distance. I've seen Reiki melt the hardest of hearts.
It does, doesn't it?
It really does. And then, once people are feeling loved and accepted and connected again, it gives them the opportunity to see life differently. You're not doing it for them. They have to do it for themselves. You're just facilitating the change.
Now, the other thing, we've spoken in the previous episodes about the different crystals that we can use. So for the heart, it's actually anything pink and green, isn't it? There's a few different ones.
There's tons for the heart chakra.
The first one that always comes to mind is rose quartz.
Yeah, the rose quartz is the favourite, and that is, of course, unconditional love in rose quartz. But we also have the aventurine. We've got green jade. We have emerald. Kunzite is absolutely stunning. It's a pink. Pink tourmaline is also stunning. We have all of the tourmalines actually can be very useful. The black tourmaline is actually a grounding stone, but it's also useful for getting rid of negative energies and keeping away negative people. So I remember once that I was doing a house clearing, and this person had an extremely, let's just say, unpleasant neighbour. And she ended up ordering like a ton of black tourmaline to put along her fence wall.
That is funny.
Instead of having white marble in there, it was all tourmaline. It was hilarious. But it worked, and the neighbour stopped bothering her. So
there's a tip.
Yeah. Expensive one, but yeah, go for it. But yeah, I think there's all sorts of different ways we can change the energy around things. And these are just tools to be able to help us to raise the vibration. Buying a crystal for someone is so beautiful. I think that's one of the nicest gifts you can give. And something else that's really come into play in this probably the last couple of years is the orgonites. Now, we're both sitting here with our orgonite bracelets on today, made by the beautiful Amber from Triple Goddess. And these are a very powerful tool to help to transmute energy. And these help to not only stop the EMF or the negative vibes coming out of our computers, etc., but also to open up our heart chakras and to allow the love to protect us. Check out Triple Goddess orgons. They're up here in Far North Queensland, but they do have the ability to ship all over the world.
We'll have to get the girls on here to have a chat about
it.
Oh,
let's do that.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
They can tell us how they all work.
Yeah.
It's magical, but I love it.
I love it. I can't be without my bracelet now.
So what about some smells that are great for your heart chakra?
Yeah, so we do have all of the lovely flowery smells for the heart chakra. I'm a bit of a spice girl myself.
That sounded good. Yeah.
Not the group. Definitely not the group. But I like the spicy smells. But geranium, jasmine, lavender is in this one as well. Rose oil, of course. And we've also got the mandarins and some of the sweeter tangerine sort of smells in there too. But my favourite is lang lang. Lang lang is an oil that can help you love yourself. Okay, a lot of people actually wear it as perfume because it
is a beautiful perfume.
It's
smell.
sensual.
And when it comes to colour, we have spoken about wearing green and or pink as well, and red. I think it's red, but it's not. Red is definitely the base chakra.
Yeah, it's more of a scarlety colour, I suppose, but it's got that mixture of pink and red in it.
Yeah. That can be.
Cerise.
Well, we can start making up names for colours.
I think that is the real name for it.
Magenta.
Magenta. Similar. Yeah. Those hues can often also bring us to that point of feeling so good about yourself, I think feeling sexy and feeling good about yourself is part of self-love and self-worth.
Definitely.
And wanting to feel that way for your partner or the person that you love is a positive thing.
It is. And the amount of times that I work with women when we go shopping, and one of the first things I love to do is talk about your lingerie, because it's one of those things that people will keep forever but end up with the nana undies. Yeah. So you want to, as much as
Guilty.
comfort is fun, it's also good to have some little sexy pieces in there, because it does go a long way for self-love to feel special.
Oh, look, absolutely. And I think too, the little negligees and things like that too. I mean, but we do get past that into the nice cotton T-shirts and
flannel pajamas.
Well, you've got to have a little bit of comfort in there too. But if you could, in fact, we're probably giving someone an idea out there, that could come up with some kind of crossover between comfort and lingerie.
That would be helpful. That would be helpful.
The nice, soft, but cute.
Yeah, but something that actually holds you up as well.
Oh, yeah.
When you've got boobs, you do want a bit of support there. So.
You so do. And of course, too, speaking of boobs, we probably should quickly mention that the most important thing for females is to have, well, actually, I'm going to open up to males too because it can affect them. So getting your checks done on a regular basis, because self-nurturing is one of the reasons that we end up getting breast cancer. So if we're not nurturing ourselves, if we're not allowing that love to come to ourselves, if we feel that we're always doing for everybody else all the time, it can be one of the precursors. So please, 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 guys, do the right thing, get yourselves and do your regular checks. And that's all we're going to say. How you do it is up to you, but it's an important part of the heart chakra.
One other thing to think about is the foods that we eat.
So all the greens, of course, and one thing that is absolutely magical is celery.
Celery. There are celery diets.
Well, do you know it's actually got a special salt in it which can pretty much knock off some of the worst viruses on the planet. There's a wonderful man called Anthony Williams, and he's written some books, and one of the books is Medical Medium. He's a medium, and he can also detect illnesses in people. And it's in his book, he talks about celery juice as being one of the biggest healers. And it's so simple. You just have 250 ml of celery juice, fresh, obviously, every morning on an empty stomach. That's it. That's all you have to do.
And it tastes like nothing, really.
No, celery. I love celery. I eat so much celery. It's one of the few things I can still eat. And I do have celery juice, and it has improved my health so much.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very good one. Are there any? I'm trying to think of some red strawberries.
Yes, strawberries are great. Anything that looks like the heart, actually. They found that tomatoes, if you actually look at tomatoes inside, it's like it's got chambers in it like the heart.
Oh,
I know. Red apples.
Yes, red apples.
Those sorts of foods are good. But soul food, guys, soul food is what makes you feel great, okay? So when you are eating something and you love it and you love the taste of it, and maybe it's strawberry ice cream or something pink, if it's making you feel good, then in moderation, obviously, and within health guidelines, do it. Just do it.
Yum. Yes, and that is what it is about, isn't it? If you are going to eat, even if it's something that, we consider bad food, if you're enjoying every mouthful that you're putting in, it's still a form of self-love.
Absolutely it is. And being grateful for the food, I think, is the biggest thing. I Reiki everything now. I Reiki my water. I Reiki the food before I eat it. Funnily enough, since I've been doing that and bringing the food up in vibration, I haven't been having as many adverse reactions to it, which is magical in itself, isn't it?
That's a great tip.
So if you're out there and you have food intolerances like I do, I'm very sensitive to all preservatives and all poisons on this planet. Just remember, by Reikiing your food, you can actually bring the vibration up of that food to the point where your body might be able to get rid of those toxins that are on it more easily.
It. That's fantastic. That's a really good tip. I do bless my food every night, and it has become far more of a ritual compared to when I was younger. We used to just say that, the Lord's Prayer, the Dear Lord Jesus, be our guest, let this food to us be blessed.
Oh, I've never heard that one before.
Oh, really?
That's a new one for me.
Oh, it was a little rhyme.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, so we used to say that. But I think that those types of habits of blessing food, I mean, I'm not vegetarian and I do eat meat. And so even when I'm eating chicken, I thank the chicken
always,
for giving its life for me to enjoy the food. And it's a wonderful practice.
Do you know, I absolutely love the film Avatar. And there was a scene in that film where one of the warriors was actually killing an animal it had to in the film, I think self-defense. But she was saying to the animal, I release you to the great goddess energy, and she was actually thanking it for giving its life. And then I think they took it back and consumed for the food for the people, But this is the whole thing, is like the native peoples always have given thanks. They've always understood that that's a part of it, and the cycle of life will go on. I mean, really, we are just a body with a soul. If the body is being used to help to nurture and feed other people, then the soul's going to come back and do it all again, even animals are like that as well. You have a collective consciousness with animals, and we must do a podcast on this one. But the collective consciousness of the animals actually collects all the information that it needs to help its person that it's connected to. So, for instance, your dogs and your cats will have information like naturally in their collective consciousness in order to help you with your lessons. That's why a lot of people find that their dogs can heal them.
Yes. Right. Oh, this is a good one. We will have to do a whole podcast on that too.
I don't know how I got sidelined on that one, but there you go. So there's all sorts of wonderful things we can do to help our heart chakra, and I think one of the best things is to pray. I think that we need to understand the meditation, the praying, whatever you call it. I mean, it's really just sitting quietly, giving thanks, and having a lot of gratitude for everything that's in your life, and just being here. Every morning you wake up, every morning you open your eyes, you should say thank you.
Yes, I agree. We are going to take you through a meditation now for your heart chakra to open that up so you can feel that unconditional love that is available to you at any moment.
Find a comfortable position and relax. Take a deep breath, and as you inhale, bring in all of the white light from the universe, washing over you like a beautiful blanket, wrapping you up and making you feel secure and warm and safe. The Great Mother sends her beautiful pink light through the crown chakra down into your heart. You find yourself in a white room. Everything around you, the furniture, the walls, completely white. There's beautiful French doors that look out over a garden. Go out through the French doors into your garden, where you find rows of beautiful pink flowers. There's a large tree, branches wide above your head, blooming with beautiful pink flowers. This is your garden of love and acceptance. The pink crystal bench invites you to sit. We feel safe, open and aware. We're able here to process those emotions which may sometimes feel blocked. The sadness, the grief, the unhappy feelings about who you are all melt away, sitting on this beautiful pink, loving energy. We're going to invite now a loved one who has passed over into the spirit world, who you had a beautiful, loving connection with. And we're going to invite them to sit on your bench with you so that you may feel their love, filling up your heart chakra and removing all doubt and negativity. By being with your loved one, you are able to remember what it feels like to be loved unconditionally. No judgment, no rejection, just pure love. We apply the love to all aspects of our life. Think about your work and how you can change or grow or manifest something that you absolutely love to do. use the rose quartz energy to push the powerful love through your thought to make it a reality. Think about your partnerships, both people in your life now and those who you would like to manifest. Once again, feel that love, that powerful rose quartz energy pushing through your heart chakra into the future to manifest loving and harmonious relationships. Think about your health, the well-being of your physical body, pushing that beautiful rose quartz energy through your heart chakra into your physical form, through all cells and all aspects of your physical body, loving your body, accepting your body, and knowing that your body is doing everything it can to keep you healthy and happy. Become aware of anything that may need fixing or changing in order to create your path. Using this guidance, move forward in your life in a joyous and happy way, knowing that you are loved unconditionally and totally accepted. Your heart chakra is full. Feel that love pulsing through you now as you move forward into your day. You can return to now when you're ready.
Thanks for listening to the Divine Style Podcast. Please follow, share, and tune in weekly for more spiritual and self-love guidance. You can find out more and ask questions at gerlinda.com.au and alisonmaiden.com.